Chapter 11. How Siegfried journeyed homeward with his wife. When now the strangers had all ridden hence, Sigmund's son spoke to his fellowship. We must make us ready too, to journey to my lands. Lief was it to his wife, when the lady heard the tale aright. She spake to her husband, When shall we ride? I pray thee, make me not haste too sore. First must my brothers share their lands with me. It was loth to Siegfried, when he heard this from Kriemhild. The lordly hied them to him, and all three spake. Now may you know, Sir Siegfried, that our true service be ever to your bidding till our death. Then he made obstinance to the knights, as it was preferred him in such kindly wise. We shall share with you, spake Grislia the youth, both land and castles which we do own, and whatever broad realms be subject to our power. Of these ye and Kriemhild shall have a goodly share. The son of Sigmund spake to the princes, as he heard and saw the lordling's will. God grant that ye be ever happy with your heritage and the folk therein. My dear bride can well forego in truth the share which ye shall give. Their wear shall wear a crown, and she shall be mightier than by any one alive, and live to see the day, for whosoever else ye do command, I stand ready to your bidding. Then spake the lady Kriemhild, Though ye forego my heritage, yet it is not so light a matter with the Burgundian men-at-arms. A king might gladly lead them to his land, forsooth, my brother's hands must share them with me. Then spake the Lord Gernot, Now take whosoever thou dost wish. Thou wilt find here really a one who'll gladly ride with thee. We will give thee 1,000 of our 30 warriors, be they thy court retainers. Kriemhild then gan send for Hagen of Tronig, and also for Otwin, to ask if they and their kinsfolk would be Kriemhild's men. At this Hagen waxed wonderly wroth. He spake, Certes, Gunther may not give us to any in the world. Let others follow as your train. We know full well the custom of the men of Tronig. We must in duty bound remain here with the kings of court. We must serve them longer, whom we till now have followed. They gave that over and made them ready to ride away. Lady Kriemhild gained for herself 32 maids and 500 men, a noble train. The Margrave Eckert fellow Kriemhild hence, and all took leave, both knights and squires, and maids and ladies, as was mickle right. Anon they parted with a kiss, and voided merrily King Gunther's land. Their kinsmen bare them company, fair upon the way, and bade them pitch their quarters for the night, whosoever they listed throughout the prince's land. Then messengers were sent eftsoon to Sigmund, that he might know, and Sigline too, that his son would come with the Lady Uta's child, Kriemhild the fair, from Worms beyond the Rhine. Liefer tidings might they never have. Well for me, spoke then Sigmund, now I have lived to see fair Kriemhild here as queen, my heritage will be thereby enhanced. My son, the noble Siegfried, shall himself be king. Then the Lady Sigline gave much red velvet, silver, and heavy gold. This was the envoy's meed. The tale well liked her, which when she heard, she clad her and her handmaidens with care, as did beseech them. Men told who was to come with Siegfried to the land. Anon they bade seats be raised, where he should walk crowned before his friends. King Sigmund's liegemen then rode forth to meet him. Hath any been ever better greeted than the famous hero in Sigmund's land? I know not. Sigline the fair rode forth to meet Kriemhild, with many a comely dame. Lusty knights did follow on behind, a full day's journey, till one espied the guests. Home folk and the strangers had little easement, till they were come to a spacious castle, high Xanten, where they later reigned. Smilingly Sigline and Sigmund kissed Kriemhild many times for joy, and Siegfried too. Their sorrow was taken from them. All their fellowship received great welcome. One bade now bring the guests to Sigmund's hall, and lifted the fair young maids down from the palfreys. Many a knight gained served the comely dames with zeal. However great the feasting of the Rhine was known to be, here one gave the heroes much better robes than they had worn in all their days. Of their splendor great marvels might be told, when now they state in lofty honors, and had known of all. What gold-hued clothes their courtiers wore, with precious stones well worked thereon, thus did Sieglind, the noble queen, purvey them well. Then to his friends Lord Sigmund spoke, I do all Siegfried's kin to wit, that he shall wear my crown before these knights. And those of Netherland heard full fain the tale. He gave his son the crown, the cognizance and lands, so that he then was master of them all. When that man went to law, and Siegfried uttered judgment, what was done in such a wise that men feared sore fair Kriemhild's husband. In these high honours Siegfried lived, of a truth, and judged as king, till the 10th year was come, when his fair lady bare a son. This was come to pass after the wish of the kinsmen of the king. They hastened to baptize and name him Gunther for his uncle, nor had he need to be ashamed of this. Should he grow like to his kinsman, he would fare full well. They brought him up with care, as was but due. In these same times the lady Sieglind died, and men enow made wail when death befit them of her. When the child of the noble Uta held withal the power over the lands, which well besmeet such high-born dames. Now, also by the Rhine, as we hear tell, at mighty Gunther's court, in the Burgundian land, Brunhild the fair had borne a son. For the hero's sake they named him Siegfried. With what great care they bade attend him. The noble Gunther gave him masters, who well wot how to bring him up to be a doughty man. Alas, what great loss of kin he later suffered through misfortune. Many tales were told all time of how right worshipfully the lusty knights dwelt away in Sigmund's land. Gunther dealt the same with his distinguished kin. The Nibelungenlied and Siblung's knights, and the goods of both served Siegfried here. None of his kinsmen ever waxed mightier than he. So much the higher rose the mood of the valiant man. The very greatest heard that any hero ever gained save those who owned it aforetime. The bold man had that which he won by his own hand hard by a hill, and for which he did many a lusty knight to death. He had honours to his heart's desire, and had this not been so, yet one must rightly aver the noble champion, that he was one of the best that ever mounted horse. Men feared his might, and justly too.